One thing constant about the National Basketball Association is that it is in a continuous state of evolution. Every once in a while, we see a player completely dominate the game and change its course forever. In today's video, we'll be talking about 10 such players who left their mark on the game and wrote NBA history. So let's get started. On number 10, we've got the almighty Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Abdul-Jabbar's the sort of player who could single-handedly lead his team to an annihilating win, and well, he's done that on several occasions. The man currently holds an unbeatable record with most points, standing firmly at 38,387 and 19 All-Star appearances, which go very well with his 6 MVP awards. No other player has come close to beating his record, and we can safely assume that it'll be a while before we see someone as talented as him on the courts of the NBA. Abdul-Jabbar also introduced NBA to Skyhook, which was basically his deadly signature move that kept the opponents unable to defend his 7-foot frame. But his achievements on the courts don't compare to what he was able to gain outside and how he changed the course of the game for other players. That's right, the work Abdul-Jabbar has done for player empowerment is second to none. He played a major role in his move from Milwaukee Bucks to Los Angeles Lakers, which paved the way for player empowerment. And not just this, the man also worked on a range of political and social issues, which also set a pretty amazing example of all the things a player could achieve using the platform. Number 9 on our list is Julius Erving. It's safe to say that Julius Erving passed through the sport like a storm, leaving everything in upheaval. Of course, we mean that in the best way possible. The NBA champ gave the game a different sort of style, with his signature slam still making rounds on the internet. The All-Star player was also the first to pioneer endorsements with his $20,000 Converse deal, which the league hadn't seen before. And how can we forget? He was also a part of the first ever licensed video game with professional athletes, alongside another legendary player, Larry Bird. So, in a way, we can say that Erving taught the players that there were other ways to earn money from their basketball careers as well. Now, let's see who's number 8 on the list. This 6 feet and 9 inches legend did more for the league's popularity than any marketing campaign ever could. His power as a global star was something that fans were naturally drawn to. His contributions to the association helped it become the commercial and broadcast success that it is today. His 220-pounder presence was something that many feared in the courts. Well, we won't deny the fact that his savage trash-talking moments had a huge role to play in that. And with the wide range of his skills, the man raised expectations of what a player could do during a game. As of right now, he's the only player in the history of the NBA who has career averages of 24 points with 10 rebounds and 6 assists. Now, that's an impressive record, don't you think? Moving on to number 7. This player bedazzled everyone with his magic. Magic Johnson, with his tricks and a liking for drama, literally breathed new life into the association. His legendary 11.2 career assists are something that hasn't been topped yet, and with his playmaking techniques, the 6'9" legend was expertly able to maneuver the ball throughout the court without letting the opponent's defense intervene. Johnson also successfully broke all pre-existing ideas of what a player his size could achieve on the courts. And not just this, his involvement outside of basketball truly showed how dynamic NBA players could be. He wasn't someone who just dribbled a ball around for a living. Nope, he also managed to create a business and entertainment empire which was valued at $1 billion. Yikes, talk about being multi-talented. On number 6, we've got the legendary Michael Jordan. If you've ever wondered what made the NBA the global phenomenon it is now, then you might want to take a look at your closet. We're 90% certain that you've got a pair of Air Jordans in there, or even any other endorsed merch item by the legend. Well, that's your answer right there. With Jordan on the scene, we saw the entire game change its style to go with the legend himself. People even began sticking out their tongues after every move, which was basically a tick the player inherited from his father. The Chicago Bulls legend played his last game in the association about 20 years ago, but to this day, his shoe deal is considered to be the blueprint for all players. With 6 championships under his belt and 6 final MVPs and 10 scoring titles, his accomplishments are unrivaled. Both his business deals and accomplishments on the court have set him up as the golden standard for future players. Up next at number 5, it's an Allen Iverson invasion. With the exceptionally authentic experience that this 6-foot scoring guard gave us, the NBA suddenly became real. The man managed to take over everyone's heart, and he was every other person's favorite player. The player had dripped before it was cool. Allen can take full credit for bringing the hip-hop culture to the game. Fans from all around the world would mimic his arm sleeves, tattoos, and hairstyles. In a way, we can say that it was Iverson who actually paved the way for players to be a bit more authentic and act like their true selves during the games. With a 26.66 points career average, Iverson firmly holds the 7th highest rank in the history of the NBA. Moving on, let's take a look at number 4 for today, Kevin Garnett. Garnett's career is filled with interesting incidents that are more than enough to show what an amazing player he was. Just 2 seasons into his career, he was able to sign what can only be considered the largest contract in the history of the NBA with a $126 million pact of 6 years. His abilities on the court were a definite must-see, and his techniques have been defined as ahead of his time. The man is one of the only 2 players who have over 20,000 points with 10,000 rebounds and 2,000 blocks that pair perfectly with his his 5,000 assists. Now, with such impressive statistics, it's no wonder that the player has found his way on this list. Moving on, bow down everyone, we've got a king in our midst. That's right, we're talking about the one and only LeBron James. Now, he might be one of the greatest players of his time, but with him setting the bar so high, he's someone that all future and present basketball players must be wary of. James managed to become the first overall pick in the 2003 start, and well, that was only a start to his stellar career. The GOAT has 3 championships to his name, with 3 final MVPs, 16 All-Star appearances, and 4 MVP awards. Now, that's definitely a collection to envy, and we're pretty sure that no player could ever recreate it. But the player isn't only known for his skills on the court, he's also one of the most vocal celebrities on social issues and for fighting injustices in society. James is also a pretty big philanthropist and founded the I Promise School in Akron, Ohio. Up next, we've got the young prodigy Derrick Rose. Rose is a popular player amongst the young superstars because he set the precedent of being paid in the game depending on their performance. The agreement has actually been dubbed the Derrick Rose Rule, which made young players eligible to get 30% of a team's salary cap if they managed to win an MVP, made 2 All-NBA teams, or got voted an All-Star starter. And even though the point guard's career ended up suffering a whole lot due to his series of unfortunate injuries, the impact he managed to leave on the NBA at such a young age will always be felt. Last, but definitely not least, we've got the all-time fave, Stephen Curry. With Curry on the courts, the opponents had to leave conventional wisdom out of the courts because he brought on a whole new list of challenges. It was actually because of Curry that his team was able to become one of the most dominating teams in the association. And it's because of the unpredictable and powerful plays that Curry always has a defensive escort following him around the moment he crosses the half-court line. And this, of course, has managed to have a huge impact on the offensive spacing. Curry's tactics led to the offense focusing more on the ball-dominant, slick-handling pull-up shooters. His influence on basketball is definitely going to remain for quite some time. And well, when the opposing team has to build their entire defense around a player, they're definitely deserving of a spot in the list of the greatest players in the history of the NBA. That's all we have for today, folks. Who's your favorite player from this list? Did we miss anyone? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like the content. Subscribe to our channel for more updates.